Good afternoon, folks. Today's focus is preparation. We've established the pattern, Arctic air moving in, multiple storm systems possible. Now let's talk about what you actually need to do to get ready. Specific actions, specific timelines, broken down by what type of situation you are in. This video runs 15 minutes. First third is the latest weather data, what the models show as of this morning, runs. Middle section is preparation by category. Homeowners, renters, rural areas, urban areas. Final section is safety during the event. What to do if things go wrong. Let me start with the meteorological situation as it stands right now. Friday afternoon, January 10th. The pattern evolution is on track. The National Weather Service upper air analysis shows the ridge building over the western United States exactly where the models predicted 3 days ago. When you see that kind of model consistency, you can have higher confidence in the forecast. The GFS model 0Z run, that's the midnight run last night, maintained its solution. First system Tuesday into Wednesday, second system, the bigger one, Saturday into Sunday. The European model also held steady. Minor differences in track compared to the GFS, but the overall pattern is the same. What's new today is the ensemble data. Ensembles run the same model multiple times with slightly different starting conditions. This shows you the range of possibilities. The GFS ensemble, 50 members, shows 46 out of 50 members producing significant snowfall for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast on the 18th, 19th. That's 92% agreement. When you see that kind of clustering in the ensembles, the event is likely to happen. The details might vary, but something significant is coming. The European ensemble, 51 members, shows 47 members with similar solutions. That's 92% again. Both ensemble systems show the overall pattern persisting through January 30th. Cold air, storm potential. This isn't one and done. This is a pattern change that lasts. Temperature anomalies on the ensemble mean show 15 to 25 degrees below normal for the eastern two-thirds of the United States. That's not cherry-picking one cold day. That's averaged over 2 weeks. Now, snowfall potential by region based on the ensemble data, Southern Appalachians, the 14th, 15th system. Ensemble mean shows 6 to 10 inches for elevations above 3,000 feet, range from 4 inches on the low end to 16 inches on the high end. High elevation areas in North Carolina, southwestern Virginia, eastern Tennessee, mid-Atlantic, the 18th, 19th system. Ensemble mean shows 10 to 16 inches from northern Virginia through Pennsylvania. Range from 6 inches to 24 inches depending on exact track. New England, the 18th, 19th system. Ensemble mean shows 12 to 20 inches for interior sections. Range from 8 inches to 30 inches. Coastal areas might see less if there's mixing with rain initially. Great Lakes, lake effect through the end of January. Ensemble mean shows 20 to 40 inches for the traditional snowbelts. Some higher amounts possible in favored locations. These are ranges, not guarantees, but they give you a sense of what's possible. Now let us talk preparation. I am breaking this into specific categories because different people need different things. Homeowners with natural gas or electric heat, your primary concern is power outages. Heavy wet snow brings down trees and power lines. If you lose power, your furnace doesn't work even if you have gas heat. Most modern furnaces require electricity for the blower and controls. Action items. Get a generator if you don't have one. Size it appropriately. You don't need to run your whole house. You need to run your furnace, a refrigerator, and some lights. That's 1,500 to 3,000 watts. A generator in that range costs $300 to $600. If you already have a generator, test it this weekend. Run it for 30 minutes. Make sure it starts easily and runs smoothly. Check the oil level. Change the oil if it's dirty. Old oil causes problems in cold weather. Fuel. Stabilize gasoline stores for 6 months. If your gas is older than that, dump it and get fresh fuel. Calculate how much you need. Most generators use half a gallon per hour at half load. If you might be without power for 48 hours, that's 24 gallons. Store it safely. Gas cans outside, not in your garage. Label them clearly. Extension cords. You need heavy gauge cords for generators, 14 gauge minimum, 12 gauge better. Don't use cheap light duty cords. They overheat and cause fires. Carbon monoxide detector. Put one near sleeping areas. Generators produce carbon monoxide. Even if your generator is outside, CO can seep into your house. Alternative heat. If you have a fireplace, stock firewood now. A full cord of seasoned hardwood costs $150 to $300 depending on location. You can burn a quarter cord in a weekend if it's your only heat source. If you don't have a fireplace and don't want a generator, get a propane heater rated for indoor use. Mr. Heater makes several models. The Buddy Heater puts out 9,000 BTUs. That's enough to heat a medium-sized room. Cost about $100. Get extra propane cylinders. Never use a camp stove or outdoor grill for heat. Carbon monoxide poisoning kills people every winter who make that mistake. Homeowners with oil or propane heat, check your tank level now. Don't wait until next week when everyone else calls for a fill-up. If you're below half, call for a delivery today or tomorrow. Oil and propane deliveries slow down during storms. If you run out during a blizzard, you might wait several days for a delivery. Keep your thermostat at a reasonable level. Don't crank it up to 80. 65 to 68 is fine. Every degree above 68 increases your fuel consumption by 3%. Frozen fuel lines are a risk in extreme cold. If you have an outdoor tank, make sure it's full. Full tanks are less likely to develop condensation, which can freeze in the lines. Homeowners in rural areas, you face additional challenges. Help doesn't arrive quickly in rural areas during major storms. Plan to be self-sufficient for several days. Water. If you're on a well, you need electricity to run the pump. No electricity equals no water. Fill bathtubs before the storm. Fill large containers. 5-gallon buckets work. You need water for drinking, cooking, and flushing toilets. One person uses 2 to 3 gallons per day for drinking and cooking. A family of 4 needs 8 to 12 gallons per day minimum. For flushing toilets, you can use melted snow if needed. Fill the tank manually. One flush uses about 1.6 gallons on modern toilets. Food. Plan for meals that don't require cooking if you might lose power. Peanut butter, crackers, canned goods you can eat cold, protein bars, dried fruit. If you have a generator, you can cook normally, but have a backup plan. Heat. If you heat with wood, make sure you have plenty. Stack it where you can access it even in deep snow, close to your door. Communication. Cell towers go down sometimes. Have a battery-powered radio. NOAA weather radio is best. You can get them for $30 to $50. They give you alerts even if your power is out. If you have medical needs, plan accordingly. If you need oxygen or other electric medical equipment, talk to your provider now about backup options. Renters in apartments or condos. You have less control over your situation, but you still need to prepare. Food and water. Stock up the same as homeowners. Assume you might not want to or be able to leave your apartment for 2 to 3 days. Heat. If you lose heat, you can't fix it yourself. Report it to your landlord immediately. But have a backup plan. Layer clothing. Close off rooms you're not using. Hang blankets over windows to reduce heat loss. If it gets dangerously cold, go somewhere else. A shelter, a friend's house, a hotel. Don't try to tough it out if your apartment drops below 50 degrees. Hypothermia is a real risk. Know your rights. In most states, landlords must maintain heat in winter. If your landlord doesn't respond, call local code enforcement or the health department. Urban dwellers. Public transportation often shuts down during major snowstorms. Don't count on buses or trains. If you need to go somewhere, have a backup plan. Walking in snow requires proper footwear, insulated waterproof boots with good tread. Sneakers don't cut it in 6 inches of snow. If you're in a high-rise building, power outages mean no elevators. If you're on the 20th floor, that's a long walk. Stock your apartment with supplies so you don't have to make that trip multiple times. Building heat often works during power outages if it's steam heat, but individual apartment controls might not. Dress warmly just in case. Everyone, regardless of situation, medications, make sure you have enough. Pharmacies might be closed or inaccessible for several days. If you're close to needing a refill, get it now. Important documents, know where they are, insurance papers, identification, medical records. If you need to evacuate quickly, you want to grab these. Cash. ATMs don't work without power. Banks might be closed. Have cash on hand. $200 is a reasonable amount. Pet supplies. Food, water, medications for pets. Don't forget them. Baby supplies if you have infants, diapers, formula, baby food, flashlights, and batteries. LED flashlights are best. They read bright and batteries last longer. Get several. Put one in each major room. First aid kit, bandages, antiseptic, pain relievers, any prescription medications you need, phone chargers. Car chargers work even if your house power is out. Portable battery packs are useful too. Charge everything before the storm hits. Now, safety during the event. What to do when things happen. Power outages. First hour. Don't panic. Report the outage to your utility company. They often have automated systems. Call the number on your bill or check their website. Open your refrigerator and freezer as little as possible. A full freezer stays frozen for 48 hours if you keep it closed. A full refrigerator stays cold for about 4 hours. Turn off or unplug electronics. When power comes back, surges can damage equipment. Use flashlights, not candles. House fires spike during power outages. People knock over candles, candles tip over. It happens every storm. If you're using a generator, never run it inside. Not in your garage, not in your basement, not in your house. Outside only. 20 feet from the house minimum. Exhaust pointed away from windows. After 12 hours. Move perishable food from the refrigerator to a cooler outside if it's cold enough. Nature is your refrigerator when it's below 40 degrees. Conserve generator fuel. Don't run it continuously. Run it for a few hours, shut it off, let the house warm up or cool down, run it again. After 24 hours, consider going somewhere else if you were uncomfortable. A warming center, a friend's house, a hotel. Dawn to be a hero, hypothermia and frostbite. Hypothermia symptoms: shivering, confusion, slurred speech, drowsiness. If someone shows these signs, get them warm immediately. Remove wet clothing, wrap them in blankets, warm drinks if they reconscious. Call 911 if symptoms are severe. Frostbite symptoms: numbness, white or grayish skin, hard or waxy feeling skin, usually affects fingers, toes, nose, ears. Don't rub frostbitten skin, that causes damage. Warm it gradually with body heat or lukewarm water, not hot water. Seek medical attention. Prevention: cover all exposed skin when outside. Wear layers, limit time outside in extreme cold, take frequent warming breaks. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Symptoms: headache, dizziness, nausea, confusion. Often described as feeling like the flu. If everyone in the house feels sick at the same time, suspect CO. If your CO detector goes off, get everyone outside immediately. Call 911 from outside. Don't go back in until emergency responders say it's safe. Common sources during winter storms: generators too close to the house, using a gas stove or oven for heat, running a car in an attached garage, blocked chimney or furnace vents from snow. Vehicle emergencies: if you get stuck in your car during a storm, stay with the vehicle. It's easier for rescuers to find a car than a person walking. Run the engine periodically for heat. 10 minutes every hour is enough. Make sure your exhaust pipe isn't blocked by snow. Carbon monoxide can back up into the car. Crack a window slightly for ventilation, even when the engine is running. Use emergency flashers so other vehicles can see you. Tie a bright cloth to your antenna if you have one. Stay hydrated. Eat high-energy food if you have it. Keep moving to stay warm. Clap your hands, move your feet. If you have cell service, call for help. Give your location as precisely as possible. Stay on the line if they ask you to. Medical emergencies: during a major storm, emergency response times increase. Ambulances can always get through. Plan accordingly. If someone has a medical emergency and 911 can respond immediately, ask if you should attempt to transport them yourself. Only if it's safe to do so. For chest pain, aspirin can help if it's a heart attack. Have the person chew 1 regular aspirin or 4 baby aspirins. For severe bleeding, apply direct pressure with a clean cloth. Keep pressure on for at least 10 minutes without looking. For broken bones, immobilize the injured area. Don't try to straighten it. Splint it as it is. These are temporary measures until professional help arrives. But sometimes temporary measures save lives. Depression and anxiety during storms. Being stuck inside during a storm affects mental health. Some people get cabin fever. Others get anxious. Stay connected with people. Phone calls, video chats, texts. Social connection matters. Maintain a routine as much as possible. Get up at the same time. Eat meals at regular times. Go to bed at a reasonable hour. Limit news and social media if it increases anxiety. Check for updates once or twice a day, then disconnect. Physical activity helps. Do exercises inside if you can't go out. Jumping jacks, push-ups, yoga. Movement improves mood. If you're really struggling, call someone. A friend, a family member, a crisis line. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 9888. Available 24/7. After the storm, don't rush outside immediately. Let plows clear roads. Let utility crews restore power. Give it a day if you can. When you do start clearing snow, pace yourself. I've said this before, but it bears repeating. Take breaks every 15 to 20 minutes. Snow shoveling causes heart attacks. If you feel chest pain, stop. Call 911. Check on neighbors, especially elderly neighbors or anyone who might need help. Be patient with utility crews and road crews. They're reworking as fast as they can. Complaining doesn't speed things up. Document damage for insurance if needed. Take photos before you clean up. I want to hear from you. Where are you located? What's your biggest concern about this pattern? Leave a comment with your city and state. I read every comment. If I see a lot of interest in a particular area, I'll provide more specific coverage for that region. Tomorrow's video will have the latest model data on that 14th, 15th system. We're getting close enough now that the short-range models become useful. Sunday, I'll break down the 18th, 19th storm in detail. Track, timing, snowfall amounts, wind speeds, everything you need to know. Monday, I'll do a comprehensive preparation checklist video. Final preparations before the storm hits. For official forecasts and warnings, check weather.gov. Your local National Weather Service office. They're the authority. This is real. This is happening. Prepare appropriately. Stay safe.